Is the Brampton real estate market picking up? Is it cooling down? What's happening to the Brampton real estate market? Is right now the time to purchase real estate? Is right now the time to sell real estate? What is happening? In this video, I'm going to break down all that information for you. By the way, my name is Zamira Dunnet, and I'm a local real estate agent right here in the GTA, and I'm with eXp Realty. And I live in Brampton, Ontario. This is my home. So if you have any questions about this city, if you're trying to purchase a home in this city or sell a property in this city, give me a call. My contact information is right there in the description for you. I'm going to put it right here as well with my husband, who is a mortgage agent, his number here as well, because we are the Dunnet duo and we are here to help you through this entire process. It is not easy. It is not something you want to do alone. So please go ahead and reach out. Now let's jump into the May market update. Okay, let's get into what has happened during the month of May. First off, I want to tell you the average from last month was $1,026,000 for the average home price in Brampton. Look at where we're at now. We're at $1,002,608 as the average home price right here in Brampton. That is 2.36 of a decrease since April. And since last year, it is a 10.26% decrease. So we are still seeing that buyers are not throwing a whole bunch of money at properties, and we are not selling thousands of properties in this moment. Because when you look at how many have sold, we're at 484 sold properties in the month of May. But we had 1,412 sellers put their properties on the market just in the month of May. And because only 484 properties sold, we were left with 1,603 active listings at the end of the month, which means we went into June with that many properties available. I just told you, should sellers be trying to sell right now? Yes, we just had a decrease in the interest rates for the first time in 4 years, okay? But we have so much supply currently on the market. We don't have enough demand because all the buyers have been waiting on the sidelines. We are thinking that buyers are going to be jumping back into the market right after they heard that this interest rate did go down, because they think we're going to be at the peak of interest rates. We're finally hit the top, but we only went down by 0.25%. So what are those buyers going to do? We may have a flood of buyers for the first few weeks, but I think they are then going to stop again, just like they did in February and March. For some reason, buyers threw themselves at the market in February and March, and then they all disappeared again. The next slide I'm going to show you, it's going to show you how many solds we've had throughout the entire year, and that information is super important. We're going to get into that in just a second. So when you look at sales in general, sales are down by 42% since last year, and active listings are up by 63% from last year. So last year we were selling more homes and we didn't have as many on the market. This year we have so many on the market, but we're not selling as many as we should be, or what we were doing last year. So when you look at how many properties have sold over asking price, I leave that as a question mark, because I leave it to the end of the video, because that is the most important part. Just because there's so many properties on the market, just because we had 484 properties sold, we want to know if they're all selling over asking price. What is happening? Do we have a lot of buyers that are getting into the market right now, throwing themselves at properties, or are they kind of just following what the prices that the sellers are listing at and going in that direction? We'll get into that in a second as well. So if you look throughout the year, January we had 395 properties sold. February was 445. March we hit the 500s, but we're back at 484 for the month of May. So a lot of buyers, even though we've hit that spring market almost into the summer market, the weather is good. People are slowing down. People are like, I want to go and get away, go somewhere else, take a break, enjoy my summer. The summer always ends up not being as busy because people love the weather and they don't want to waste their weekend just looking at houses. You know what I mean? So we did have less sales this month compared to the last few months. So we had 1,603 active listings at the end of the month. When you look at the sold properties, 238 properties stayed on the market for 14 days or less. And then 246 properties stayed on the market past 15 days. So we're kind of in the middle, like we're getting 50-50 on each end. I still can't believe that there are 683 properties that took their properties off the market. That means there still could be a lot more properties that appear on the market in June because all of those people removed their properties on the market. They could have relisted it, but they removed them, which is really, really good to know. And properties that had to do a price change was 170 properties. All 170 either dropped their prices or increased their prices, but they all couldn't sell at the price that they first started with. So that is super good information as well. When you look at the chart across the board, you can already see that the active listings are beating literally anything that we've had over the past 2 years. I don't even know if you've hit that number so far. Look, 1603, the highest was 1,488, and even here, 1,291. There have been so many sellers that are just waiting to put their properties on the market, and I feel like that's what's happening right now. Our highest moment of new properties coming on the market was back in March and April of 2022, because we were getting so many more sold. We were almost at 1,000 sold properties at that time, right? And then June of last year as well, when they finally decided, they paused interest rates in this timeline here, but they decided to increase the interest rate in June of 2023. So you can see that, again, solds were still at like 700, 600, but we are at 484, and we had 1,412 new listings come on the market, and we had 1,603 active listings at the end of the month. We haven't had that many in the past 2 years. That is actually insane. Okay, so I like to look at each style of home over the past 4 years. So we are finally at 1,172,000 for detached homes. They're still the highest style of home, obviously, but we were back at this price in like 2021. So it's nice to see that we have finally made a decent shift in prices when it comes to the price of detached houses. Every single section has also gone down since last year and last month. We're going to talk about last month shortly. We're at $928,000 when it comes to semi-detached houses. We are at $875,000, which is pretty good. Like the 2021-2022 mark is where we're hitting now. $695,000 and $523,000. We're at pretty good prices for the average price for each style of home. Now let's jump into each month. This is actually really interesting. In every single month, we actually have decreased in value of each section. 1,172,615. We were at 1.2. We were at 1.2. We were still at 1.2. So like we have actually hit like the February, like the winter months is pretty much the price point we're back at, and we're in the summer, which is actually surprising. When it comes to semi-detached houses, 928. We were at 956, 959, 951, 905. So again, January prices, we're getting back to that amount, which is like really nice to see. Townhouses, 875. We are at the $900,000 price point for freehold townhouses. We've come down $25,000 to 875. And again, January prices, which is really nice to see. Condo townhouses, 695. We hit under the $700,000 price point. And we've got some good options in these areas. And even condos, like $532 for a condo in Brampton right now is a pretty decent price. Like again, January prices. The winter months are the slower months, and we're seeing prices in May come down. If you look at what June of last year was for each section, we're literally under what we were at last year for every single style of home. It's actually really, really nice to see. Okay, guys, here we are. Are we selling over asking right now? Are there so many properties selling over asking? What is going on? I can tell you, we are at 31% of properties selling over asking price. In February and March, I did say that properties started like getting a lot of traction. And after March, people decided to slow down again. So if you look at like the winter months, obviously November and December, we're at like 17, 18%. But September of last year, we're like around that same amount of properties selling over asking. And we just had a decrease in interest rates. We went from 5% to 4.75%. So I can't wait to see what happens in June. I'm telling you, I believe that buyers are going to start to jump into the market at the beginning of the month, and then they're going to start to slow down again because we have another announcement in July. So people are also going to wait to see what happens for that announcement. If you are a buyer, we are still at the lowest prices possible in the market for a really long time. Okay. We haven't been able to get condos at $530,000. We haven't been able to get semi-detaches at $930,000. So if you're somebody that just wants to figure out maybe where you're at, how much you could afford, I want you to reach out to my husband. My husband is a mortgage agent and he can just run over numbers with you. Reach out to either one of us. We want to help you through this crazy process, guide you to the best of our ability. I make a video like this every single month because I want to keep you guys informed about what is happening right here in our city. Brampton is where I live, like I said, and I am the most informed about this city because I love this city. This is my home. So if you have any questions at all, please go ahead and reach out to me. Like I said, my contact information is right there in the description. Also, if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and like this video, and we'll see you guys all next week.